Family Book by Todd Parr. Some families are big. Some families are small. Some families are the same color. Some families are different colors. All families like to hug each other. Some families live near each other. Some families live far from each other. Some families look alike. Some families look like their pets. All families are sad when they lose someone they love. Some families have a stepmom or stepdad and stepsisters or stepbrothers. Some families adopt children. Some families have 2 moms or 2 dads. Some families have 1 parent instead of 2. All families like to celebrate special days together. Some families eat the same things. Some families eat different things. Some families like to be quiet. Some families like to be noisy. Some families like to be clean. Some families like to be messy. Some families live in a house by themselves. Some families share a house with other families. All families can help each other be strong. There are lots of different ways to be a family. Your family is special no matter what kind it is. Love, Todd.
Hello, dear Twain families and River Rafters. This is Mrs. Gonzalez, your principal. I know that many of you, like our staff and I, miss being together in person and attending our PTA family events. Luckily for us, our amazing Twain PTA continues to stay strong and plans educational family nights like today. Every month, we will have a combination of different topics, and we hope you can join us. So sit back, relax, and show us Zors by having an outstanding attitude, being respectful and safe during Zoom. Hola, queridas familias de Mark Twain y balseros del río. Soy la directora Mrs. González. Sé que muchos de ustedes, como nuestro personal y yo, extrañamos estar juntos en persona y asistir a los eventos familiares de PTA. Afortunadamente para nosotros, nuestro increíble PTA de Twain sigue siendo fuerte y planea noches familiares educativas como hoy. Cada mes tendremos una combinación de diferentes temas y esperamos que puedan acompañarnos. Así que siéntense, relájense y muéstrenos Zors, teniendo una actitud excepcional, respetuosa y segura durante el Zoom. Gracias. Thank you.
Hello and good evening, River Rafters. I'm so happy you joined us tonight at the PTA Family Night, where we continue to celebrate Mark Twain families. As just mentioned, tonight's program is being presented in English and Spanish. Click on the interpretation button that looks like a globe at the bottom of your Zoom to select your channel. If you're using the school-issued Chromebook, unfortunately, you may not be able to utilize the language interpretation feature at this time. My name is Rebecca Essenprice. I'm the parent of a 2nd grader at Mark Twain, and I serve this year as the PTA Education Chair. Welcome to the Mark Twain Family Night with the theme, Many Kinds of Families. At any time, you can use the Q&A box to answer our presenters' questions, or use the chat box to engage with all attendees. Tonight's program is being recorded. However, only our presenters will be on the screen. I'll be getting lots of help running the program tonight from Crystal Mosler, a parent of a Mark Twain kindergartner who's serving as the PTA Executive Vice President and the Family Engagement Chair. She will help read out your comments from the chat. Everyone who registered for tonight's event is entered to a raffle to win the book we'll be reading tonight and some Mark Twain gear. but you must be present at the end of the program when we spin the wheel to win. Throughout the year, PTA is highlighting and celebrating Mark Twain families who bring with them rich cultural traditions that we love to share and learn about. Still, other Mark Twain families may be further removed from the cultural traditions of their ancestors. Tonight, we learn about two more Mark Twain families, and we ask, what is culture? Where does it come from? And what is family? We'll start by sharing the family story of my daughter, Sagan.
Hi, I'm Sagan. I'm a second grader at Mark Twain. This is a picture of my family, my dad, my mom, and me.
Sagan's ancestors came to America at many different times throughout history from many different countries. Some of those ancestors have passed down traditions we still practice today. From my side of the family, we're more recent immigrants. All of my grandparents were first generation born in America, having come from Poland. Because that's pretty recent, there are parts of Polish culture that are still part of Sagan's life. What Polish foods do I make?
I don't really know.
Like things that Grandma Helen made. Things I always say, I make this because Grandma Helen made this.
Cucumber salad?
Do you like cucumber salad?
I like cucumber salad.
Do you know how it's different than the kind that most people eat? Because it has a lot of dill.
Mm-hmm.
So Polish food has a lot of dill. And that's why we grow dill, right?
Yeah.
Half of my Polish family were Jewish. And the cultural elements that they passed down are still a big part of Sagan's life. What other holiday do you like?
I like Hanukkah a lot.
What do you like about Hanukkah that we do?
The song.
The song? What song?
Oh,
Oh, saying the prayers when we light the candles. Do you like lighting the candles?
I don't know what it's saying, but I like that.
Yeah, but you like doing
and
that.
And I also like lighting the candles.
Mm-hmm. Do you like celebrating Rosh Hashanah?
Which one is that again?
That's the Jewish New Year.
The Jewish New Year.
Do you remember what we do for Rosh Hashanah? Yeah, you blow the shofar.
I never got it right.
Well, it's very hard. It's very hard.
You can.
That's because I play trumpet. When I was a kid, I played trumpet, so I can blow the ram's horn pretty well. Do you remember dipping apples?
In honey? Yes.
Apples and honey. That's something we do for the new year. What's your favorite Jewish holiday to celebrate?
Passover and Hanukkah.
What do you like about Passover?
I like that I can make things with you.
And what food do you make with me for Passover?
I forgot the name.
The soup? What soup?
Matzo ball soup.
Matzo ball soup.
Matzo ball
And
soup.
when you work with Dad, do you make matzo ball soup with Dad? No. What do you make with him? You make a nukoli soup.
Nukoli.
And why does Dad make a different soup than I make?
Because he's from a different place.
Right, because he learned to make that soup from his mom, who learned it from her mom.
Who learned it from her mom, and on, etc.
Right, and they're from Hungary. Hungary, and that's a kind of noodle from Hungary that got passed down in our family. When you're a grown-up, Sagan, would you like to teach your kids how to make nukoli or matzo balls?
Yeah.
Yeah? You like both noodles? Mm-hmm. Our last name is German, but the ancestors of Sagan's dad did not pass down along many traditions other than an accordion that's been in the family for many generations. Although we attribute Sagan's red hair to her Irish ancestry, the genes for red hair are nearly all those ancestors passed down to her. How do we know all these details about the members of Sagan's family from so long ago? We keep track of them on a family tree. A family tree is a chart or a drawing that shows the relationships between people in many generations. And this is Sagan's family tree. Here's Sagan with her parents, These are my parents, and that's the parents of Sagan's dad, and so on and so forth. And you can see in our family tree, we have some members that go pretty far back. This person up here is Sagan's great, 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 great grandfather. As parents, we choose what elements of culture we leave to our children. Recipes from mom, traditional clothing from grandma, a prayer from dad, or a dance from grandpa. If these were not left to us, we can choose to begin new traditions, or we can research our roots to build new relationships with lost traditions of our ancestors. We're so grateful for the Mark Twain families and staff who have shared at past family nights, highlighting Hispanic heritage and Native American heritage and special education. Please reach out to us. Leave a comment in the chat if you can share what makes your family special at one of our upcoming family nights. We're going to be celebrating Mark Twain families with African American heritage, Arab American, and Asian Pacific American heritage. Tracking marriages and births is really only one way to define a family. Families can grow when someone remarries after a divorce, or when a child is adopted. Families are more than just who you're related to. A family is a group of people who love you. I love learning about people in our school community. I hope you learned something about my family, and we would love to learn more about yours. What special cultural traditions did you get from your ancestors? Please share with us in the chat. Are there special foods passed down from your grandparents that you're now sharing with your children? Are there songs or dances that you do that are unique to the culture of your ancestors? Are there traditions that you wish were shared with you from generations who came before you? Please type in your answers into that chat, and we'd love to share your voice with the rest of our school community.
Hey, Rebecca, it's Crystal. We do have someone who put into the chat. Wathan said, thank you, Sagan and Rebecca. We love learning about your family and hope to learn some special recipes from you one day. And Wathan wants to share his favorite Burmese coconut noodle soup called On No Kot Sui. I believe I said that correctly, but I could have pronounced it incorrectly.
Yeah, Wathan is another second grader at Mark Twain. We know him, and we have been lucky enough to try Burmese food that his family has shared with us.
I would love to be invited to the next one. I would love to try Burmese food.
So other people who are in attendance today, what different cultural traditions have come down in your family that you're so thankful have been passed down? Because your parents made that choice to share those elements of culture with you.
I know that I can share, Rebecca. My family came over primarily from Germany a very, very long time ago in the 1600s. However, they emigrated to a specific area of Pennsylvania, and it's in kind of like the Lancaster area. And there's still a lot of Amish people there, actually, and Mennonites. And our family was neither of those two, but they call them Pennsylvania Dutch, which is actually Deutsche, but it was changed to Dutch. And there have been some traditions that have been passed down, like the language. There's definitely some words that my mom still says that her mom said that are very unique to that area. And I know one of the big traditions is on New Year's Day, there's a special meal of a pork roast with sauerkraut and green beans, or excuse me, peas. And that is supposed to bring good luck, wealth, and prosperity in the new year.
Nice.
We have, okay, so Charisse Jones, Mrs. Jones, said her family also immigrated from Hungary and spoke German.
We have that in common.
And then we have the Bursino family said some of our traditions are making tamales for Christmas and leaving cookies for Santa.
Love that. One of my favorite things about the tamale making tradition is that it's so easy to pass down through generations because it's a family affair. The whole family does it together, so it's very easy to share that with your children and know that they'll probably do it with theirs.
Well, I don't see any more comments, Rebecca. So what we'll do is if you have anything else you'd like to add, we'll be coming back at the end during our open discussion and Q&A, and anything that gets added after this point, we'll be happy to share then. I'm going to turn it back to you, Rebecca.
Sure. So remember also, if you'd like to share a story about your family at one of our upcoming family nights, you can let us know about that in the chat as well, and we'll get in contact with you. Next, let's hear a personal story from another person in our community who has a very special family. Here is Henia Miranda, the mama of a Mark Twain river rafter kindergartner, who will share her family story with us tonight.
Hi, I'm Henia Miranda. I've been a part of the Lawndale community for 6 years now. I've been a teacher at Will Rogers Middle School. My daughter is a kindergartner at Mark Twain, so this is our first official year as a river rafter family. In my family, there's me, there's my wife, Amanda, there's my daughter who's 5, her name is Carmen, and my 1-year-old son, Joaquin Miranda Leaf. My family, I would say, is unique because we have 2 moms in our family. You don't see that quite often, but I am mama and my wife, Amanda, is mommy. My wife and I both identify as lesbian, which is the L in LGBTQ. LGBTQ stands for lesbian, bisexual, gay, transgender, and queer. My wife and I have been together for almost 12 years now, but we've been married for 6. We had been married for a year when Carmen was born, and we decided that we for sure wanted to become a family. The process of adopting Carmen was not as difficult as we had expected because we are 2 moms. The most challenging part of the aspect was just dates, getting everything paperwork in. There's a lot of just overall hurdles that we had to jump through to get her adopted. So my daughter looks nothing like me because she was adopted. People are curious about the adoption process. So we are happy to talk or help people understand that adoption still makes me the mom and her my daughter. We've talked to Carmen about her adoption, but we use kid-friendly words. She knows that she wasn't in any of our bellies. When my son was born, my wife was carrying Joaquin, so she was there from the start of the process. So she knew that Joaquin was going to come out of her belly, and then she asked us, Mama, was I in your belly? Because Joaquin's in Mommy's belly. So we had to explain to her that no, she was not in neither one of our bellies, but we're still a family and we still loved her. I wish people would ask more questions about my family. Sometimes if we're walking down the street or we're all together, I can see people maybe staring, wondering, but I think that it's better to ask questions and get the information. We are an open book. We rather have people ask questions than to make assumptions. One of the challenges we face is people ask, oh, are you sisters to me and my wife? When we are clearly not. We don't look alike. We want them to be able to understand that just because there are 2 moms in my family doesn't make us any less of a family. Sometimes think that people might be making an assumption that 2 moms may not be adequate enough to raise kids. But I would want them to know that, having parents, it's what's important. It does not matter whether it's 1 mom, 2 dads, or 2 moms. My family is similar to other families because love is what brings us together. In my family, we support each other, we communicate, and we help each other grow. And I think that we do all of that because we love and respect each other. When it comes to gender holidays, it was a bit of a learning process. At preschool, my daughter was able to make 2 gifts instead of 1 during Mother's Day. And she also had the option of making a gift during Father's Day. In my family, there is no father, but we told Carmen, you can make a present for someone, for a father figure. And she creates gifts for her abuelo, who she sees as a father figure. The school can support families like mine, by taking a closer look at maybe documents that get sent home, paperwork. Sometimes I find sections where it asks for mother and father's name. Simple things in language can change. Parent and guardian instead of mother could be changed. Small things like that. But I think overall, the school and the district is very accepting. We don't feel left out. We don't feel neglected. We like our Lawndale community. Almost every year we've attended a LGBTQ family camp where different families that are part of the LGBTQ community get together and have fun. We are able to connect with other families. We are able to have conversations, allow my daughter Carmen to talk to other families that look like hers. My daughter has asked about having 2 moms. She noticed because of TV, movies, and other social media out there that our family wasn't like the families that are being currently portrayed in TV or on TV. And unfortunately, we're not very common on the shows that she watches. So we had to explain to her that families are made up differently. Carmen has had other kids approach her and ask her about having 2 moms, and Carmen just lets them know, yes, I have 2 moms, and that's just the way it is. She's very comfortable with the fact that our family may not look like everyone else's family, but she knows that we still love her. Carmen, I would say, is very proud of having 2 moms. She doesn't want to hide us. She doesn't, she is not shy at all. She is open about her family. She is open about how much she loves us. I think kids asking questions is part of who they are. And the more questions kids ask, I think the better for everyone. Everyone is able to learn, get the facts straight, and not make any assumptions. My family, I'd say, would be this very same as the other families because we go through life the same way as others. We've taken my son to the emergency room because we thought he hurt his arm. We've celebrated Carmen's birthday, during a pandemic, like I'm sure a lot of you have. So we have the same life events, the same challenges as well. I'm sure we all know it's hard to get them to take a bath and brush their teeth. So the same small struggles that other families go through, we go through them as well. I would tell other families that look like mine that it's okay to be out and about. I think it's important for everyone to see us. I think it's important for everyone to learn more about us. Being an LGBTQ family does make us unique. However, I say that we are just like any other family, and I believe that love is what makes family.
Love is what makes a family. That's definitely the message we hope you all leave with tonight. Thank you to Henia for sharing what makes the Miranda Lee family so special. Henia shared that her daughter doesn't often see families that look like hers in the cartoons she watches or the books that she reads. Have you experienced that? Families come in so many sizes and types. Some families have only one parent. Some families have grandparents or aunts and uncles living with them. Some families are divorced and live in more than one home. Tell us in the chat, how is your family different from the ones that you usually see in books and on TV? You can go ahead and type into the chat and share with us. Or You can do that while sitting back and listening to a storybook read by one of your fellow river rafters, Sagan. This book is about all kinds of families and how their differences make them great. While Sagan's reading, think about what makes your family great.
My Family, Your Family by Lisa Bullard. Illustrated by Renee Carilla. I'm Michaela. Did you ever know that I have the best family ever? It's true. This is my mom and dad. This is our dog Tootsie. We all really love ice cream, but we love each other even more. Did you notice Mom's belly? She's going to have a baby soon. The doctor says it'll be a brother. I'm worried that will change everything. This morning, Mom and Dad have a plan. They agree that the baby will make our family different, but Mom says that different can be great. So I'm spending time with other families. Dad tells me to find one great thing about each family. It's like a treasure hunt.
A family might be people related by birth, adoption, or marriage, or it might be people who love and take care of one another. Some family members live together. Some family members live apart. Who is in your family?
I'm at Mateo's house for breakfast. He lives with his mom and dad like me, but his family is bigger and noisier. Mateo's 3 sisters talk a lot, and everybody talks loudly so that Mateo's grandpa can hear. They call him abuelo. That's the Spanish word for grandfather. And my mom was right that different can be a good thing. Mateo's family is so fun. There's always someone to play with.
Different families speak different languages at home. What language do you use with your family?
Next, I take a walk with Miss Betsy and Mrs. Roberta. They live together across the street. I thought you had to have kids to be a family, but Mom says all you need to be a family is love. My ears are worn out after my loud breakfast, so Miss Betsy and Miss Roberta let me do the talking. Here's a great thing about their family. They really know how to make other people feel important. I eat lunch with Olivia and her dad. Olivia's parents are divorced. Olivia stays with her dad on weekends. Her mom lives in another part of town. I don't know much about divorce, but I can see that Olivia's dad loves her. And she tells me what her mom and stepdad and stepsister do too. Olivia's family is pretty awesome. She has 2 homes where she belongs.
Sometimes, after a divorce, a child's parent marries someone else. This person is called a step-parent. If the step-parent already has children, the child also gains step-brothers or step-sisters.
After lunch, I visit Jake's family. His grandma and grandpa take care of him. Grandma helps us bake Jake's favorite cookies. Grandpa shows us how to build a shelf. Jake's grandparents have lots of years to learn cool stuff, so they're really good at teaching Jake new things. Next, I visit Parker's family. He's adopted. Parker tells me his mother loved him, but she couldn't take care of him, and Parker's 2 dads knew he was meant to be their little boy. Here's what's special about Parker's family. His dad works during the day, then his papa works at night. So he always has a dad around to take care of him.
Some children who are adopted were born in the United States. Some were born in other countries. Either way, their adoptive families feel like they were meant to be together.
When I got home, my family is bigger. No, the baby isn't here yet. Grandpa and Grammy came for dinner, and Nana and Uncle Monty flew in a plane to see us. Aunt Jean and my 3 cousins are here too. Aunt Jean's the only grown-up in their family, unless the cats count. So I know what makes their family great. Everybody does their part to help out.
Are pets part of your family?
I'm sleepy. Mom and Dad and Tootsie tuck me in. Mom says my baby brother can hear my voice from her belly. So I tell him about all the families I met today. I know different can be great. Having a brother will change our family. But we'll still love him more than ice cream.
What a fun book. Before I go on to talk about it, I'd love to hear some of the things that people shared from the comments down in the chat. Crystal, can you help me out?
Sure thing, Rebecca. So let me just scroll back up here. So we asked, how is your family different before you left? And also, we're asking what your family might see that's great if Michaela came to your house, correct? Okay, so Viana says, my family is not different from the TV shows I watch. Sometimes it is because the families are divorced or either there's one parent. Daniela says, it was nice to see our family represented in tonight's event. We also have a 2-mom household with 5 children. We have also been through the adoption process. Thank you, Henia, for shaping your story and representing us. And Charisse, Mrs. Jones, says, our cousins and aunties are a 2-mom family. We love them all so much.
Thank you, Crystal. So when Michaela went to Mateo's family, she was impressed that because there were so many kids, there was always someone to play with. In my kid, Sagan's family, there are no other kids, but she thinks that's great too. She never has to share her toys, and it's always quiet when she wants to read. The differences in our families can all be great. If Michaela visited your home, what great things would she find? Please type your answers in the chat to share with us. I'd love to hear some ideas. Also, if when you registered, you said that you would appear on camera, you may see a start your video come on the screen. So please be prepared to share. What makes...
You go ahead and read it.
Jeffrey shares, we have twins in our family. So that can definitely be something that's great. What I find interesting is something that might be a negative to someone could be a positive to someone else, like about Mateo's family always having someone to play with a noisy group of kids, but Sagan enjoying her time alone.
So again, I know, Rebecca, is it Wathan?
Yeah, Wathan says, Michaela would find us playing games and cooking together a lot. That's something that's great about his family.
Okay, and I have that Hamza says, my sister was born in America and we were born in another country. That's really interesting. So only the sister was born here in the United States, and it looks like the rest immigrated. I'd love to know where from, Hamza. Viana says, I think some great things she would find is that I have a brother and no pets, and that we all love our own traditional foods. Jessica says, our family has 5 people, but we also feel like our friends are part of our family. Ah, okay. So Hamza replied that his family or her family is from Afghanistan.
Nice.
Amazing. And Aaron says, our daddy's sister was adopted from Korea.
all the things that make your family great. Our differences make us great.
So I think, Rebecca, maybe we should see if we, I believe that Eugenia and also her wife, Amanda, who are featured in tonight's story, are here. Perhaps we can bring them in.
And then if anyone has any questions about having a different kind of family, or questions about family trees or culture and traditions that get passed down, please enter all your questions into the chat and we love to address them. We are your Mark Twain family.
Hi, Henia. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Carmen. Make sure you unmute yourselves. There you are. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you for having us.
So what else, what might Michaela find you guys doing on a, I don't know, Thursday, Friday night, if she were to come to your house, or a weekend?
Oh my gosh. Well, we've got 2 kiddos and a cousin who's about the same age. So on a Thursday or Friday night, it's going to be a living room covered in toys and a lot of screaming and running around and having lots of fun.
On Friday and Saturday. Don't forget Saturday, Mommy.
Saturday too.
So do you, Carmen, feel like your cousin is kind of like a sibling?
Don't you call her your little sister all the time?
Well, every day I call her my little sister. And Joaquin?
Or Joaquin?
He's just watching something.
Oh. Hello, Joaquin.
He's just putting his fingers in his mouth.
Well, I know at my family, unfortunately, so my daughter Sienna is actually in your class. She's a kindergartner and seen our sixth class as well. And she has a little brother, Elliot. And you know what? They have no cousins. So that's very different about our family. She doesn't have any cousins. None of my brothers nor her dad's sister have any children. So all of her cousins are what we call family. They're like our friends that we've turned into family. And we have lots of family for her to play with.
That's so cool.
We're always looking for the positive. If you have no cousins, that means you get all of the grandparents' attention.
Ooh.
You don't have to share it with any cousins.
This is true. I'm going to go back to the chat because we do have a couple more comments. We have Daniela, who said that Michaela would see their 12 pets. Oh my goodness, 12 pets. All right. So 1 turtle, 2 rabbits, 2 dogs, 3 fish, and 4 hens. Wow. That is a lot of pets. I imagine that takes quite a bit of time for upkeep and cleaning cages and pens and feeding.
Oh, but what a fun hands-on way to learn about all different kinds of animals. That's really cool, Daniela. Thank you for sharing that. And Viana asked in the chat, how does it feel to have 2 moms or 2 dads?
Do you like having 2 moms?
Yeah. I like having 2 moms. And the dad, my mom only has dad.
Yes, I do have a dad. So your dad, you call grandpa?
I call him abuelo.
Abuelo, got it.
And I have a grandma, and there's another one who's Amanda's mom.
Okay.
And there's more grandmas out there.
That's true. Carmen does have a lot of grandmas.
Yeah, in our family, my parents got divorced when I was little, and my mom remarried. So Sagan has 3 grandpas because she has my husband's dad, who's grandpa, my dad, who's grandpapa, and then my mom's husband, who is her poppy Phil.
Cool, huh? Yeah.
I just showed you in the face.
Do you know who all of your grandmas are, Carmen?
I just have 2.
I think you've got like 4. You've got abuela,
My mom.
so mama's mom. You've got grandma, mommy's mom. You've got mommy's grandma. That's your great grandma. You've got mama's grandma, Mama Chucha.
Yeah.
And you've got your Granny D. You know who your Granny D is?
Didn't I met her?
Yeah, that's your birth mother's mother.
And how many grandpas do I have? 2. Just 2.
Something like that. I think you've got 1. We'll count the grandpas later. No, I guess you've got 2. That's right.
And we heard from Wathan in the chat also that he also has 3 grandmas because his daddy's parents got divorced and remarried. So sometimes the things that we think are different about our family, we actually have in common with a lot of the people in our community. That's pretty cool.
Well, I don't see anything else coming into the chat. If anybody else has any other questions or anything they'd like to share, go ahead and get it in now. I am going to, we had a few people during the registration process who had asked to share their artwork of their family. And we do have one here, and I'm not sure if Gabriella is on, but this is her artwork. Gabriella, if you are on, we will bring you in. I think if you want to turn, I see that you're there, Gabriella. If you want to unmute and turn on your camera, you can tell us about your picture. Hi, Gabriella. Go ahead and unmute yourself. There you are. Hello.
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 ¿Dónde está el
Hola.
micrófono? Dile hola.
Gabriela, you may share your picture in whatever language you feel most comfortable.
Okay, Gabriela.
English or español.
Gabriela, ¿puedes decirnos sobre tu foto, por favor?
Dile. Uh-oh.
¿Quién está en tu foto?
Mi mamá, yo, Rosita, y mi papá, y mi hermana, y mi otra hermana, y mi hermano cuando era chiquito. Gabi, mira.
Escuchamos, escuchamos.
Thank you, Gabriela. Gracias.
Gracias.
Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone for sharing what makes their family great. It's so fun to hear more about our Mark Twain families. But now it's time to wrap things up for tonight. Remember, I mentioned that raffle. Thank you to everyone. At this time, we will do a drawing for one lucky attendee to win a copy of the book that Sagan read, My Family, Your Family, and some Twain spiritware. So let's go ahead. We're going to bring up the wheel of names and spin it. And remember, you have to be here to claim your prize. Bye, Brooks. Are you here? Will you leave a message in the chat to say that you're here today?
Rebecca, I do see that V is here. I'll give her a minute to go ahead and, oh, she's here. I see a hi from V.
Hi, V.
All right, congratulations, V. You've won a copy of tonight's book and some spiritware. We'll be in touch.
Great. So thank you to everyone for joining us tonight. Thank you to Carmen and to Sagan for sharing your families with us all. And a very special thank you to Jessica Delfino Funston and V Brooks for filming and editing our family night interviews. We hope to see you at our Black History Family Night in February. That's all for tonight. If you want to stay for a bit, we'll hang on to read the chat to hear what else you want to share tonight. But just thank you so much for coming, and we'll see you at the next family night.